everyone. I'm going to present our work on RescueCaster, exploring photos and live streaming to support contextual awareness in the Wilderness Search and Rescue Command Post. So if there's just one message that I want you to take away from this talk, it's that new implicit information channels could help wilderness search and rescue workers build team cognition and shared mental models. However, users must have the means to narrow their focus, and new data channels should be considered as a supplement to, rather than a replacement for, existing communication channels. So I'll start briefly with a bit of motivation. People all around the world like to enjoy the outdoors for recreational activities like hiking, skiing, or simply just enjoying a stroll in the woods in one's backyard. However, sometimes people get lost in the wilderness, and when this happens, a search crew needs to be called to find the missing person and bring them out of the wilderness safely. So this is what Wilderness Search and Rescue, or WSAR workers, do. So WSAR workers are highly trained professionals. Quite often they're volunteers, and they work together to search a large wilderness area, find a lost person, and bring them home safely. In a large search operation, it usually looks something like this. So there'll be multiple field teams, all instructed and coordinated by a team of search managers who work from a command post. So the collaboration is very distributed in nature in that there are many endpoints and lots of back and forth communication and information sharing. In particular, there are two key locations, with one being the command post and the other being the field location. And there's remote collaboration going on between these two locations. So the key question guiding this work is, how can we improve this remote collaboration? There's a growing body of research in designing user interfaces for supporting collaboration in emergency response, particularly in situations involving teamwork and collaboration. And such situations require a high degree of awareness, including situation and workspace awareness, as well as team cognition and shared mental models. So all these concepts behind teamwork have been studied in other emergency response situations, as well as in contexts such as control rooms, and they're highly relevant to WSAR as well. Moreover, from a previous study that we published at ACM Group 2020, where we interviewed and observed wilderness search and rescue workers, we derived the following design opportunities. One being that technology can be designed to bridge the perspectives of field teams and command through implicit and automatic information sharing. The second, that WSAR workers could benefit from additional remote communication modalities beyond just audio and text. And lastly, that WSAR workers could benefit from additional opportunities for asynchronous communication. So we applied these three design opportunities in the design of a prototype system called RescueCaster, which is a system that's meant for the command post, meant to enhance the command team's awareness of the situation in the field, including particularly the statuses and actions of the field teams. The concept explores the idea of sending teams out to the field with at least one of their members wearing a body camera that streams visual pictures to the command post continuously. So these cameras could stream either live video, or if the connection is not that great, it could send photos once every few seconds or every few minutes to give the command team a live, up-to-date visual picture of team surroundings and contexts. So the commander would be able to sort of monitor all these live feeds from the different field teams as if they're monitoring a bunch of security cameras. Or better yet, these videos, these images could be placed on a map of the search terrain, which would also be showing the team's current or most up-to-date locations, as well as their paths of travel. So this is what RescueCaster does, and the goal is to provide the commander with additional contextual awareness of the field team's current situations to help them build a more complete mental model of what's going on. So we implemented a medium fidelity prototype of this interface and deployed it as a web app for a user study with WSAR workers. And this interface allows WSAR commanders to explore body camera footage of the field teams, both live and asynchronously, in relation to both spatial data on a map, as well as temporally on a timeline. So we ran a user study where we deployed this prototype as a web app with the goal of understanding the potential opportunities and challenges of a system like this. We recruited 11 WSTAR workers, most of whom were managers, and this study was remote, based on a simulation and 3 mock scenarios where the participant played the role of a WSTAR manager, completing various tasks overseeing simulated field teams at a command post. So participants used this prototype in a web browser while they shared their screen in a Zoom call, and we had participants think aloud while they used the interface to complete the tasks that they were given. We recorded video of participants' interactions with the interface and interviewed participants at the end, and we conducted open axial and selective coding on the data. Please see our paper for more details on the procedure. Very briefly, here are some of the findings that we found. So we found that the camera footage could enhance the command team's awareness and aid in planning. In particular, participants mentioned that the camera footage could provide awareness of conditions in the field, which could be useful for understanding the safety of the teams, understanding their needs for resources, or planning ahead to determine which resources to send teams with in future deployments in the same search response. We also found that the camera footage could provide awareness of progress or movement, or more specifically, that the teams are making progress and they're moving along in the search response. And this brought comfort to our participants. In addition, some participants mentioned that this awareness could be useful for reducing routine radio checks with the field teams. Participants also pointed out that while the body camera footage can't tell the whole story on its own, SAR managers can use it in combination with other data sources, such as photo and text messages and map data to triangulate focus and context and infer a more complete story. Lastly, we found that new implicit communication channels and information streams could impact existing roles and responsibilities in WSAR. Essentially, that adding additional information streams could add more responsibilities to the command team while also reducing the responsibilities on the field teams. So with this, we briefly present some design lessons. First is we recommend designing to bridge the perspectives of command and the field teams. So the findings from this study highlight the importance and benefits of bridging these two perspectives. And to bridge these two perspectives means to allow command workers to see and understand the situation from the viewpoint of the field teams, as well as also their opportunities to allow field workers to understand the situation more from the bigger picture perspective of command. Second, we recommend designing to enhance nonverbal, implicit, and automatic information sharing. So the study revealed that when command has access to more implicit communications from the field teams, they can remain better aware of their actions, safety situations, and needs without having to explicitly message them as frequently. Lastly, we recommend designing to balance the burden of responsibility between command and the field teams. So simply put, while new implicit information streams could benefit command users, they could also burden them with additional responsibility. Thus, care needs to be taken to minimize that burden on command and balance that burden of responsibility between command and the field teams. So I conclude by going back to our takeaway message. And here's our contact information if you want to reach out to us. Thank you very much for your attention.